Uh, let, me, let me put my welcome, welcome, and welcome all of our viewers and listeners around the world to the GMAP Broadcast Network, GMAP1.com. We are your number one faith based motivational and inspirational broadcast platform in the country. And today we have a special treat, a special guest. And you know what? I can't take any of the credit here. I'm going to let her dive right in and basically introduce herself. Why don't you do me a favor there? Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself? Tell us who you are. Tell us where you're from if you don't mind sharing.
Okay. My name is Adair Sanders, and I'll tell you quickly how why I'm using the name Adair. When I was born in Chattanooga, Tennessee. When I was born, my daddy was convinced that he was going to have a boy, so it was not a girl's name for me. So, surprise, when I was a girl, I got my mama's middle name, which was Ann, and my daddy's middle name, which is Adair. When I started my writing career, I guess about 8 years ago now, I decided that I would use my middle name, Adair. So I lived in the South most of my life in a bunch of different places. I was amazingly a trial attorney for over 30 years before I started writing. And I'm really glad I'm a recovering attorney now and can spend my time, fortunately, writing.
Wow.
Oh, and I live in Western North Carolina now in a really small town called Brevard, and I live up in the mountains where there's a lot of wildlife, and I love it.
I love it. I mean, I love that you love it. And again, we take time out to say welcome to the GMAP Broadcast Network. If they don't know, now they do, that you are one of our featured authors here on GMAP Broadcast Network with a couple of great publications that I'm showing people right now currently on our television screen. Why don't you tell us a little bit about how you got started as far as your publishing and author career?
Okay. Back when I was still working full time, I'd had several women friends suggest that I write about my upbringing and about some of my personal journey. And I became convinced that that was a spiritual call for me because I grew up in a home that had a lot of abuse and addiction and some dysfunction. I hate to use that word, but I mean, that's the best description. So I really felt this was the spiritual call. And the first book I wrote was a memoir entitled Biologically Bankrupt. And I really believe that God wanted me to write that book because someone who I probably would never meet would read the book and it would be helpful to them. And in fact, after I did publish it, I had many women and some men even contact me and say that they thought they had been the only one. And they were so glad to hear that, someone else had walked a similar path. But I really had not intended to write anything except that memoir. And I ended up going to a writing class in Brasstown, North Carolina, which is even tinier than Brevard, but has a wonderful folk school called the John Campbell Folk School. And in that writing class, my protagonist, Allison Parker, I mean, just sort of appeared to me in the class. And I started writing a fiction series. I now have 6 books in the Allison Parker Mystery Series. The series has a small group of core characters, so you follow them as they develop through the books, and they've really become my friends. As I write, I like them. I see what they look like, and I've just had a great time doing that. I'm so grateful that I've been able to make that invention, and people enjoy reading them. So that's great.
Ah, I am loving it as well. And again, I thank you for 3 reasons. I thank you, of course, for being here with us today. I also thank you for accepting the invitation, allowing us to be a part of your journey, and of course, being a part of the GMAP Broadcast Network family. Now, if someone that you are influencing and/or is truly paying attention to your every step and so-called their role models. If they were to ask you today, what's next for Adair Sanders, what would your response be to that?
Well, I'm hoping that my mystery series will become a television series. And I know that sounds, that's probably what every author says. Oh, I want my books to go on TV. But the people who read these mysteries have encouraged me to try to make that happen because they think they would be great. So for me, what I would envision, in the future is that you could turn on Netflix or Amazon Prime or something and follow Allison Parker and Frank Martin and Wolf Johansson and Sheriff Toby Trowbridge and all the great characters that are in those books, and see them come to life on the screen.
Wow, on the screen. I tell you
On
that
the
would,
screen.
yeah, that would be an exciting moment. Now for those that want to show their love and their care, concern, and support, and maybe purchase a copy of not one but all of your publications, what would be the process for them to do so?
The easiest way is to go to Amazon, and when you do a search for Allison Parker Mysteries by Adair Sanders. And it will pull up all of the mysteries, and each book will say where it is in the series. For example, the first book is called As Sick as Our Secrets, and it'll say that, and then it'll say book one in the Allison Parker Mysteries. That's the easiest. The books are in some independent bookstores, but not near Chicago. They're more North Carolina, Florida, South Carolina. So the easiest way to do it is go to Amazon, and books are available in Kindle, paperback, and as an audio book.
Mm. And of course, we do not want them to forget about little old GMAP broadcast network down here in the lower left
Absolutely.
hand lower left hand corner of everything in small print. But you know, small print on the paper is sometimes the most important print on the paper. So we don't mind having that title. Now, if someone wanted to reach out and maybe connect with you on a more personal level and talk to you about your journey, what would be the process for them to do that?
You should go to my website, which is adairsanders.com. There is a method there to email me, and I can get into correspondence with the person in that way.
I love that. I love that. And of course, we're going to be able to in the future break down each and every one of your publications to allow people to know and be aware of the different things that you have available for them. And of course, we're going to be placing this conversation out on our social media outlets as far as YouTube and Facebook and all those great things. And of course, we're going to have you back here so you can share all of the things that you have planned, what's coming up, where you're going to be, and all that great stuff here on the GMAP Broadcast Network. You know, I want to move over for just a few seconds here and allow you to share what's on your heart. You know, act as if it's your final words to the people around the world. So I'm going to move over, step aside, and say, the floor is yours, author Adair Sanders.
Well, that's a tough thing to ask. I guess I would encourage people to look for God within you. It's clear that we aren't here by accident, and that the divine is in all forms of our lives. And as I said earlier, I believe that I would had a spiritual divine call to write that first book. If we seek, we will be found, and if we knock, the door will open. And I would encourage everybody to take that step in their lives.
Wow, that is an amazing, amazing view and words of encouragement to share with the viewers and listeners around the world. And again, I know that we had some that maybe their eyeliner broke or their pencil lid broke or they ran out of ink and they were unable to write down your website. Why don't you share that with us one more time so I can make sure that the people around the world have that?
Okay, and I'll spell it too, because Adair is kind of a strange name. It's all one word, Adair Sanders, and that's ADAIRSANDERS.com, AdairSanders.com. I do want to thank you too for having me on your show. I mean, I'm tickled to death to be able to be here and have your listeners hear about my writing, and hopefully they will enjoy reading the books. I've had a great time writing them, and I think they might get hooked on them just like some other people have. But thank you so much for reaching out to me and giving me this opportunity.
And we thank you for accepting. And of course, when people do go to places such as Amazon, we want them to be sure to leave a review. We think that's
Yes,
one
yes.
very important aspect to this. Let her know, let him, let me know, let Amazon know that you appreciate what she's doing. You like the books. You even if you don't like them, leave a review. Let us know what you think, how you feel about them, so she can continue to go forth and of course do what she has been blessed to do via the publications that she has to offer. Adair Sanders, we thank you so very much. We're going to be inviting you back soon. We want to get more in detail about some of the other things that you're doing. And of course, we are going to make sure that you are aware that you have our number. You can
Yes.
always call us and let us know, or have us assist you in any way, shape, form, or fashion. And we want you to know that the answer will always be yes, and you will never have to ask us twice. We want you to know that.
Well,
So please do.
and I want to thank you so much, and also to tell your visitors, you've been so gracious to put two of my books on your featured authors list, and those are Wolf, which is book 5, and The Games We Play, which is book 6. And I do want everyone to read those, but I would encourage you start with the first one because it's just like listening to a story. It gets better as you go along and begin at the beginning. However, they're independently written, so you could actually pick up any of them and just read a story that is, contained in the book. But I like my characters, and I think you will too.
I'm sure they will. I don't have to think anymore. I have to know that people are going to enjoy what it is that they read, and we're hoping that you do just that. Start from the beginning and pick up, read, and share all of the publications that you have available for the people, for the viewers, for the listeners, and we're sure you're going to be gratefully appreciative to what you receive. We thank you so very much. We're asking that you continue to keep us posted in the things that you have yet to come, and don't hesitate to give us a call if there's anything we can do to assist you along your journey. We thank you so much, Adair. We look forward to talking to you
Thank
again
you.
soon. Okay.
Yes, thank you so much.
God,
Bless you.
God bless you, and we shall be in touch to let you know where we're going to go from here. You take care and have a fabulous day.
Thank you. You too.